Connie starts his morning in the cockpit of a plane. He is fully focused, piloting through the sky, until suddenly the aircraft begins to shake. The plane tilts out of control, alarms go off in his head, and panic hits him as the plane goes down. Then reality snaps back. It was only a flight simulator game. Connie is not a real pilot, just a guy escaping his daily problems through a game. Not long after, his daughter Julia asks him to take her to school. Before that, she wants to stop by her mother's house to pick up something she forgot. Connie and his ex-wife have been divorced for a while. Julia lives between the two homes, and this week it is Connie's turn to look after her. On the way, Connie tries to make small talk with his daughter. He asks what she wants for her birthday. Julia knows her father does not have much money, so she tries to be considerate and basically says she does not really need anything. But Connie insists in his own stubborn, loving way, determined to give her whatever she truly wants. That is when Julia finally says what is in her heart. She wants a horse. Just like that. A real horse. Connie is stunned into silence. When they arrive at his ex-wife's place, she asks Connie for permission to take Julia later that afternoon to see some horses. Connie agrees, even if it secretly reminds him of the promise he just made. In the middle of their conversation, the new husband comes home from work. His name is Thomas, and he is everything Connie is not. Thomas is a pilot, successful and confident, while Connie is just a salesman at an electronics store. Watching Thomas and his ex-wife act all warm and affectionate with each other, Connie cannot help feeling a sting of jealousy. Later that day at the shop, Connie returns to his routine, working like any other day. When night comes and it is finally time to go home, his boss calls him over and tells him to deliver and install a TV at a customer's house. It is already after hours, but the boss does not care. Connie has to work overtime. At the same time, in another part of the city, a group of gangsters is in the middle of a drug deal inside a building. They have no idea that outside the police have been watching and are ready to strike. A violent shootout breaks out when the officers move in. 3 members of the gang are arrested, but while the police are focused on the raid, one gang member manages to slip away through the basement, carrying a bag full of drugs. Before he can get far, an unknown man appears behind him, knocks him out, and steals the bag. From a distance, another man, Luca, secretly records everything on his phone. He captures the whole scene, but unfortunately, he is spotted. Meanwhile, Connie is at the customer's house, busy installing the new TV. The owner of the house, a woman, tells him she needs to step out for a while and leaves him working alone. Not long after she goes out, Luca bursts into the house shouting for his wife. It turns out this is Luca's home, and the woman earlier was his wife. Connie, who is wearing a headset and fully focused on the installation, hears nothing. Even when Luca and the mysterious stranger start fighting just behind him, Connie is still completely unaware of what is happening. A moment later, Connie looks around for a screwdriver. When he turns, he finally sees Luca on the floor, bleeding and barely conscious, with a screwdriver stuck in his body. With his last bit of strength, Luca tries to tell Connie to check his phone. Then he dies in front of him. Connie is in shock. He suddenly hears a strange noise coming from the bedroom. Still holding the screwdriver, he nervously walks in to investigate. Something happens and Connie faints. Then everything becomes trouble. When he wakes up, Luca's wife has just arrived home. She finds her husband dead and breaks down in hysteria. The scene looks terrible, and Connie is the only one there. The police arrive, and Connie is arrested on the spot. At the station, Connie keeps repeating that he has no idea what happened. He explains that he was only there to install a TV. One of the officers, a woman named Diana, senses that he is being honest and tries to calm him down. Her partner, Helena, does not buy it and remains suspicious. Soon after, a lawyer named Hasse shows up. Once the officers leave them alone, Hasse tells Connie to relax and claims he will handle everything. He explains that in court, Connie will almost certainly be found guilty, since all of the evidence points straight at him. But Hasse promises to file an appeal and investigate the case further to eventually prove Connie's innocence. Connie hangs on to that promise and feels a bit of relief. Days go by, and things unfold exactly as Hasse predicted. Connie is declared guilty and sentenced to 18 years in prison. Inside his cell, he can only sit in silence and mourn his fate. The next day, in the prison dining hall, Connie is quietly eating when chaos suddenly erupts. One of the gang members from the earlier drug deal, a man named Musi, who was arrested during the raid, attacks the inmate sitting next to Connie. A huge brawl breaks out, and in the middle of the commotion, Connie's hand gets stabbed with a fork. The next day, Connie's ex-wife and Julia visit him in prison. He tries his best to stay strong so his daughter will not worry. To reassure her, he makes a promise. One day when he finally gets out, he will bring her the horse she wants so badly. Before they leave, Connie asks his ex-wife for a photo of Julia to keep in his cell. Instead of a picture of just his daughter, she hands him a full family photo, including Thomas proudly wearing his pilot uniform. It is like salt in a fresh wound. Connie is frustrated, hurt, and jealous all over again. That night, he tears Thomas's face out of the picture and sticks what is left of the photo onto his cell door. It is petty, but it makes him feel better for a moment. The next day, a guard assigns him a new task. From now on, he will be handling the prison laundry. Connie begins working, but things take an unexpected turn when Musi and his boss, Narender, walk into the room. Connie does not want trouble, so he hides behind a washing machine and quietly listens. Narender is furious. Musi has beaten up one of their own gang members, and unfortunately, that man was their only pilot. In just 3 days, they are planning a prison escape through a tunnel and will flee the country on a private plane heading to Venezuela. Now they are desperate and need a replacement pilot. While hiding, Connie notices something strange on the wall, a loose wooden panel. When he pulls it open, he finds the actual tunnel. The rumors are true, there is a way out. The following day, Hassa visits with bad news. The appeal has been rejected. Connie is officially stuck with his full 18-year sentence. The weight of it crushes him. As he sits in despair, he suddenly remembers Luca's final words. Check the phone. Connie asks Hassa to look for Luca's phone, hoping it holds evidence that proves his innocence. But Hassa says no phone was ever found at the crime scene. That does not sit right with Connie. Something is wrong. The moment Hassa leaves, Connie rushes back to the laundry room. He slips into the tunnel and makes his escape. Deep inside the passage, he finds clothes and a phone. Luca's phone. Connie changes his outfit to avoid suspicion and heads straight to Luca's house. But just as he enters, Luca's wife arrives. Connie hides inside a closet, but she finds him anyway and attacks him with full rage. Before she can do more damage, Connie explains everything. He tells her he is innocent and was framed, and that Luca wanted someone to check his phone before he died. Luca's wife is shocked. The phone has never been found, and she has no idea what could be inside it. Connie begs her to call him if she ever finds it. After that, he returns to prison but runs straight into Masi. In a panic, Connie hides inside a running washing machine. Masi almost kills him by turning it on, but a guard walks in at the last second and interrupts. Outside the room, Masi talks with Narender and notices the photo taped on Connie's cell door. Because Thomas's face has been torn away, Masi assumes the person in the uniform is Connie, meaning Connie must be a pilot. Masi rushes back to the laundry, stops the machine, and confronts Connie. Cornered and terrified, Connie lies and claims he really is a pilot. Later at lunch, Narender and Musi invite Connie to join their escape plan. In 2 days, they will go through the tunnel, reach a private jet belonging to Narender's girlfriend, and fly to Venezuela. Connie will pilot the plane. After landing, they will split up and disappear. With no better option and a tiny spark of hope, Connie agrees. The next morning, Luca's wife notices something strange hanging from the bedroom ceiling light. When she checks, she realizes it is Luca's missing phone, drained but still intact. She plugs it into charge, hoping it might finally reveal something. Just then, Helena suddenly shows up at the house and asks if the phone has been found. Before Luca's wife can answer, the phone turns on by itself and automatically connects to the smart TV that Connie had installed earlier. A video begins playing. It is Luca's final recording, showing exactly what happened before he died. The attacker in the footage is not a stranger. It is Helena. Luca's wife freezes in shock. Thankfully, Helena has her back turned to the screen and does not see the evidence, exposing her. Once Helena leaves, Luca's wife immediately calls Connie. She explains everything and says they need to meet at the art gallery as soon as possible. She plans to hand over the phone and then disappear, because staying in town now means her life is at risk. Meanwhile, Connie heads to the laundry room, but before he can act, Masi finds him. There has been a change of plans. The escape will not happen tomorrow. The gang is leaving right now. With no way to refuse, Connie follows Musi to Narender's cell, where the final instructions are given. The breakout begins.
Alltså det fattas ju inte.
Connie, du kör. Jag kör.
On the other side of the city, one of Helena's men reports that he has tapped the phone call between Luca's wife and Connie. Helena now knows they plan to meet at the art gallery, and she cannot understand how Connie escaped prison. Panicked and furious, she rushes after them. Out on the road, Connie spots Luca's wife waiting near the gallery. To avoid suspicion, he drives past her, pretends to take a wrong turn, and loops back. When he finally gets close, he intentionally crashes the car into a bus to create chaos. In the distraction, Connie quickly slips away to meet Luca's wife and grabs the phone. But Helena arrives moments later and chases him. Connie runs for his life until Masi and Narinder manage to pull him into their car. Inside, Masi is furious that Connie wandered off, but there is no time to argue. Once things calm down, Connie secretly sends a message to Hasi, asking him to meet at the airport. Helena spots them again and gives chase, but they eventually manage to shake her off. Frustrated and desperate, she orders her men to hunt them down at the airport. When the group finally reaches the airfield, Norinder's girlfriend is waiting beside a private jet. They board immediately. Even though Connie has played flight simulators countless times, sitting in a real cockpit is a completely different experience. Panic takes over, and in a moment of fear, he climbs out a window and jumps off the plane. Outside, Helena's men arrive. From a distance, Connie spots Hasi and tries to reach him, but Narinder quickly pulls a gun, ready to shoot. Before he can pull the trigger, the police arrive, creating just enough distraction for Connie to escape. Narinder is arrested, while Connie slips away into the airport crowd. A moment later, he sees Thomas, his ex-wife's husband, being held hostage by Masi. Without hesitation, Connie steps in and knocks Masi unconscious, saving him. Still determined to clear his name, Connie keeps searching for Hasi, but before he can reach him, Helena, Diana, and a group of officers block his path. The situation escalates, and Helena shoots Connie. As he collapses, she secretly takes Luca's phone and slips away. Barely conscious, Connie turns to Diana and begs her to check his pocket. Then everything fades, and he is rushed to the hospital. That night, even after destroying Luca's phone, Helena cannot calm herself. Connie now knows the truth about her, and that alone makes him a threat. She decides there is only one way to protect herself. She is going to eliminate him before he can expose her. She heads to the hospital and quietly slips into Connie's room. He has just been given a sedative and is barely conscious, unable to fight back. Helena prepares a syringe, ready to end everything. But before she can do it, footsteps approach. She quickly hides in the bathroom. Moments later, Diana walks into the room. She is confused and uneasy. Connie mentioned a phone earlier, yet none was found. Then she notices something strange. A syringe has been inserted into Connie's IV line. That is not normal, and she knows something is very wrong. Diana opens the bathroom door to investigate, and a violent fight breaks out. Helena manages to overpower her and take her gun. Now Diana is cornered and defenseless. To twist the situation, Helena shoots herself in the shoulder, intending to frame Diana and make it look like she was working with Connie all along. She raises the gun again, ready to finish Diana next. Before she can pull the trigger, a hospital security officer arrives. Helena tries to convince him that Diana is the threat, but the guard is overwhelmed and panics. Realizing her plan is falling apart, Helena shoots and kills the officer. At that exact moment, Connie finds enough strength to strike. He hits Helena in the head, stopping her before she can fire again. He and Diana take the chance to escape. They rush out of the hospital and get into a car. While driving, they hear a report on the radio. Both of them are now officially fugitives. When Diana spots more police ahead, she turns the car around. To avoid being tracked, she crashes the vehicle into a tree and tosses her phone away. With nowhere safe to go, Connie suggests one place that might buy them time, a warehouse at his workplace. Meanwhile, Masi sees the news on television. He learns that Connie escaped, the plan collapsed, and everything went wrong because of him. Filled with rage, he swears he will make Connie pay. The next morning, Connie completely changes his appearance. He puts on his boss's clothes and even shaves off his eyebrows, just so no one can recognize him. Diana is stunned when she sees him. While gathering supplies, Connie spots an empty TV box and suddenly remembers something important. The smart TV he installed at Luca's house automatically saved videos that were played on it. If the video from Luca's phone synced to that TV, then the evidence might still be there. He takes Diana to Luca's house, and after checking, the recording is still stored on the screen. Since they do not have a phone to transfer it, they have no choice but to carry the entire TV out of the house. Their plan is to bring it to Hassa, hoping he can help present it as evidence. But while heading there, they notice Hassa standing outside a hotel with Helena. That is when everything clicks. Hassa has been part of Helena's scheme the whole time, which explains why Connie lost the trial so easily. Quietly, Connie and Diana follow them. They wait for a chance, then steal a staff access card and sneak into Helena's hotel room. Inside, they witness Helena and Hasi meeting with a crime boss and exchanging drugs and money. They slip back out and rush to the front desk, asking the receptionist to call the police and report that there are 2 fugitives inside. The idea is to get officers there quickly without exposing themselves. The police receive the call and prepare to storm the hotel. Before they leave, the police chief calls Helena and tells her to join the arrest. Helena panics. The officers think they are coming for Connie and Diana, but if they find her here, her crimes will be exposed. She rushes out and tries to mislead the police somewhere else. Meanwhile, Diana and Connie wait in the elevator with the TV. The doors open, and suddenly Musi is standing there. Without hesitation, he shoots the TV. Gunfire erupts in the hallway, but police arrive just in time and take Musi down before he can fire again. Diana and Connie survive, but their hearts sink. The TV is damaged. Their only piece of evidence might be gone. Still, they hope the memory is intact and begin checking the damage when Hassa steps out of a nearby room. Connie chases after him, and Hassa runs. Police flood the hallway. Diana is caught and taken into custody. Connie continues pursuing Hassa and eventually grabs him. But as he corners him, Hassa pulls out a gun. Before anything happens, police arrive and arrest Hassa instead. Connie stands confused. They were supposed to catch him, not Hassa. Realizing he only has a small window before they notice the mistake, he quickly grabs the bag of drug money from Hassa and disappears. His next stop is Musi. He hands over the entire bag of cash and demands only one thing in return, to stop chasing him. When Musi sees the amount of money, his anger melts into satisfaction. While searching for Diana, Connie spots her from a distance and freezes. Helena has her cornered and is shocking her with a stun device. Diana had tried to tell the police chief the truth, and now Helena is trying to silence her while accusing her of working with criminals. Before Helena and the chief step into the elevator, Connie knows this is his last chance. He grabs the damaged TV containing Luca's recording and rushes to the building's server area. The screen may be broken, but the stored data is still there. He asks the technician to connect the TV to the building's elevator monitor system. Just as the hotel receptionist discovers him and alerts security, the upload completes. The recording begins broadcasting everywhere, including the elevator monitor right in front of Helena and the police chief. Helena tries to distract him, but it is too late. He has already seen the truth. With nowhere left to run and her lies exposed, Helena is finally arrested. Outside the hotel, Diana regains consciousness. The police chief apologizes for doubting her. A moment later, Connie is escorted out in handcuffs, but this time the mood is different. Diana gives him a small smile, relieved that justice has finally caught up. Connie smiles back, finally able to breathe. Weeks pass. One afternoon, Julia is playing in the park when she suddenly sees her father riding toward her on a horse. It is not his horse, just one borrowed from a friend, but Connie explains he wanted to keep his promise somehow. Julia's eyes fill with emotion. It does not matter whose horse it is. To her, the promise has already been fulfilled. After she runs off happily, Diana approaches. She and Connie share a quiet moment, and just like that, they fall in love. So the moral of the story is, if you pretend to be a pilot, crawl through a prison tunnel, steal a TV, crash a car into a bus, and accidentally take down a crime syndicate, you might still get the girl in a borrowed horse.